I've been through a lot in my life, and I truly believe everything that ever happened to me prepared me for the next step. And a lot of people will have adversity and they'll take it too hard instead of saying, what door is going to open? How can I make a difference? How can I move forward?
Welcome to the Nat and Sarah Show, where we aim to touch, move, and inspire you every single week.
Really? We're really going to introduce our own show? Maybe we should leave it to the pro.
Oh my gosh. Okay, 1 second, ladies. Here we go. Sarah Maxwell and Natalie Cook are experts in visualization and deliberate use of the law of attraction. As dynamic world athletes representing Canada and Australia in beach volleyball, they honed in on achievement at the highest level. Winning an Olympic gold medal on her home beach of Bondi is a pinnacle example. Their powerful techniques transmute the spiritual to the tangible, allowing thousands of their community members to bring their vision boards to life. Recently, they've taken their expertise on the road as the full-time family, where they inspire, coach, and lead people to create their unique, deliberate family life using a simplified 3-step process. Welcome to the Nat and Sarah Show. Join us for twice-weekly episodes. Each week, Nat and Sarah will teach us how to deliberately create results in all areas of life using their unique 3-step process. Not only that, they'll also sit down with some of their favorite high achievers who have manifested what most merely dream about. Are you a member of the community? Go to bit.ly/The Nat and Sarah Show to download your 3-step journal to follow along with each workshop-style teaching episode and get ready to take action on your inspirations.
Hey dreamers! We continue the conversation today with one of the most powerful and passionate women I know. She reminds me of the vintage spinning top I bought for my daughter at Christmas, gracefully twirling around and around all day long in the service of others, and then doing it all again the next day. She just described to me how many hours on the plane she has clocked in the last month. And that to me is just another demonstration of how she is in service of others all the time. So standing at the helm of the billion-dollar network marketing company Isagenix and named one of the most influential women in direct selling in 2017, she just doesn't slow down. With a mission to shift the financial benchmark for families and women in particular, she is a force to be reckoned with. Combining relentless pursuit of excellence with a graceful relational touch, she symbolizes Mother Lion at its core. Her energy is infectious. She is willing to work harder than anyone else in order to impact just one more life. And even though we live a continent apart, I often ask myself, how would Kathy handle this? And then I'm off and running. And in the previous episode of the Nat and Sarah Show, we've been discussing this notion of acting as if, well before any reality has shown itself. The collective we, which is Nat and I, we suppose that there really is no other way to live a new result but to act as if well beforehand. So Kathy, for us, you represent this idea of act as if. And so we are really honored to have you sharing with our community today. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm so excited to be on your show, and it's great to be here with you both. You're such great role models for so many people. So I'm ready to share anything you want.
Oh, you're so awesome. You're so open. And you're all observing the audio, you're listening in, but Kathy looks like $1 million. As much as you're going to hear her energy, but man, you just represent to the core what it is to show up each and every day in your power. So Kathy, can you share with us all what your vision for the world is? Like, why do you keep working so tirelessly?
Well, that's a great question. But, my goal is to really impact world health and make a difference in people's lives. And that's the burning desire inside of me, and really to help people physically and financially, because I believe the financial health is just as important as the physical health. So that gets me up every morning. It's the stories of the moms, of the dads, of the couples that are able to stay home with their children, be with their families, make an impact in life, have purpose, have passion, have, a zest for life because they know that they're giving to others. And I really believe if you give to others, you feel filled up, you never look back, you just keep moving forward. And there's so many lives out there to impact. We haven't even scratched the surface. So I've never been so excited in my life about our potential to really make a difference in so many families' lives.
Gosh, beautiful. And I see that in you every single time in all the 6 years I've known you. And I didn't know you at this time, but I'm so curious, what kind of posture was required of you to start a network marketing company from scratch in 2002?
Well, that's a really good question. I have, I've been in network marketing for 27 years. I started in 1992. I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the industry. I fell in love with making a difference in people's life, the relationships, the personal growth, the community, all these great like-minded people working together. But I had been let down a little bit. So Jim and I decided to start Isagenix in 2002, really to do it right, to be the company that held up, that it was all about the people, something they could count on, a legacy for their family, something that was so beautiful and so that they would be so proud of, that they would walk into a room and feel, this is my home, this is my family, so that all these people could have peace of mind and know that they were making a difference. So we decided in 2002 we were going to do this, we were going to do it right. And, we knew that if we did it right with the right values, that it would be it would have a huge impact on so many families' lives. And it truly has. And I truly believe we're just getting started. We're on the cusp of really exploding Isagenix to the next level by the new countries we've entered. That no one knows of Isagenix. And even in the United States, hardly anybody knows about it. So we have a lot of work to do, and we're really proud of our accomplishments.
Gosh. So I'm just getting a sense, are you always forward looking? So if you were in network marketing before, you felt a little let down, and then you and your husband, Jim, decide, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do it right. I get this idea that you're just always moving toward something. Like, is that true? Or do you have looks back? Do you ever have doubts? Do you ever have uncertainties?
Oh, that's a really good question. I've been through a lot in my life, and I truly believe everything that ever happened to me prepared me for the next step. And a lot of people will have adversity and they'll take it too hard instead of saying, what door is going to open? How can I make a difference? How can I move forward? So some of the adversities that we had, we looked at those and we analyzed those, and we decided that those things we needed to move forward and do the right thing. So I really believe it prepared us for the next journey, for the next step. And that's the way it is. I mean, I always look forward. I always look into the future, but I remember some of the things that happened so that doesn't happen again. I reflect back on, oh my God, that wasn't a good move. Let's look at this. But I always look for solutions. Nothing in life is easy. No business you start is going to have up and downs. It's just natural. But you just need to keep moving it forward. How can I improve? What are the things that I did that were great? What can I do better? And how is the world changing? I mean, Sarah, this world is changing so much right now, and we all have to change with it. Look at automation. They're estimating by the year 2020, in the next 5 years, that probably 350 million people will lose their jobs worldwide because of automation. I mean,
Wow.
We're aware of these things. We have to let our children know about these things, because if we don't move with the times and we don't move into the future, we'll be left behind. You see it with so many businesses. They're left behind. You have to adjust, modify, and execute. And, you've got to be forward thinking and looking what other companies are doing so that you can make a huge impact, because I believe in the next 10 years, it's going to be a whole different ballgame, the way things are operated, how businesses are run. Online businesses are going to be the way of the future. You can see it now. Everybody wants to buy online. And so that's Isagenix is moving forward in is really, perfecting a lot of our systems and platforms really to take us to the next level.
Girl, you're so innovative. I love, okay. I have so many things to say about that. I was just listening to an interview with 3-time gold medalist Shaun White from your country, American, I might say his sport incorrectly, but winner of the X Games. And he said the exact same thing about adversity. And he named each adverse thing that occurred in order for him to win a gold medal. And you just described that same thing. And so my question is, and we talk about innovation as well, and how you stay up to date, you keep rolling with it. These are ideas. How do you manifest this in a physical presence, Kathy? So talk to me a little bit about posture. Now, posture is a physical word, if you're a chiropractor. So what do you mean when you say posture? Like, what kind of posture do you have to have, and how do you train this in other people that you work with?
That is a phenomenal question. And, I truly believe posture comes from belief and attitude. So believing, so you can develop posture for anything. And that's just a belief in something that you believe in so strong that nothing's going to stop you, that you exude it. It's confidence. And, you get that from really believing in what you are presenting. And, you can't fake posture. I mean, you really can't. It comes from within. If you believe without a shadow of doubt that you have the best vehicle, it's going to come out. It's going to exude out. Now, I'm just telling you, it took me a while to develop posture because I was an introvert when I started in network marketing, because I was a dental hygienist behind a mask. I didn't talk much. So I had to, I had to work on myself. I had to do a lot of exercises, watch a lot of different things, go to a lot of classes, really to get that. But then I got it in me. And once you get it in you and you believe with a shadow of a doubt that you have the best product, the best business, the best culture, it exudes out with confidence, and people are attracted to that. People want that positive energy. They want that positive attitude. And so many people don't have that. They're negative. And we all go through ups and downs. I mean, there's times where I get down too, but if that happens to me, I do my gratitudes, and I do them every day. When I wake up, I'm grateful. Like, I always go to Jim and I say, I'm so grateful you're my husband. You're the best man in the world. And I hand him a shake, and it changes his attitude for the whole day. So if you want to have a great relationships, tell your partner something really positive when you wake up. And then I'm grateful for a lot of different things. It's not all about the money. It's grateful for, the accomplishments that you've done, the lives that you're impacting. Be grateful for every step along the way, but keep striving forward and see that big goal at the end where you want to go, where you want to take people. But realize to be grateful for everything that you have. Every single thing that you have, because that makes you want to do more, to be more, to have more. You want much to give more. It really does.
Whew. I thank you for introducing the idea of gratitude practiced consistently as a formula for posture. I love how you integrated that in, because you couldn't not. I could see that is how, in your relationship, that is how you keep that brimming and in appreciation, and how each step along the way. I mean, I appreciate that you said it's been a practice, that you were shy or an introvert initially, and that you had to really work on this. So that allows all of us that opportunity to work on it. So Thank you for saying that, because sometimes
one thing I did, though, I do want to share with you, because a lot of people, you can say that, but I want to tell you what the steps were.
Perfect.
Okay, I went through a class on, working on all different aspects of your life. And then we got to, family, relationships, all that kind of stuff. And so the first exercise we did is we had to write down all the things that we were grateful for, and say it and repeat it every morning and every night. And pretty soon it became a habit. And then the next week we had to tell all the people that we had relationships with why we were grateful for them. So I called my brother, I called my sister, you know, I told them how grateful I was. I left voicemail messages, you know, on their phones. You know, I told Eric when every morning he got up, I said, I'm so grateful, my son. I'm so grateful you're so, got, you know, your health is so good. I said all those things. He looked at me like I was a little crazy. But after a while, you know, it embedded into him. And I truly believe all the things I used to say to him when he woke up made him realize how grateful, you know, how he has it. So that's an exercise. I encourage you to do it. It will change your life. And, you know, tell your spouse, tell your friends, you know, and if there's someone that you need to make peace with, do it. Do it. Because you will feel so wonderful. And, you know, just forgiving people too is okay, because sometimes it's just a misunderstanding. And then it moves you forward to that positive attitude. You don't have any of that stuff on you. And so many have stuff on us. Somebody might have said something, and, you know, they probably didn't mean what they said. So I think that forgiving, gratefulness, and keeping that in the forefront all the time will change your life.
Oh, you just said something. It really hit me that in order to stand tall, you have to almost release some of the shackles. And to me, that's these things that we hold on to, you know, not having a clean access when we're talking to someone, meaning maybe there was even, this is so funny. I'm debating saying this because if my brother listens to this, but we used to have this little thing about money. It was a small amount of money, and it was a gift that I gave him that he never used. And it was like this unsaid. And because it was unsaid, it just hung there between us. And only when we cleaned that up did it allow me to like have posture with him, because I didn't mean to. And I actually kept saying, you know what, it doesn't mean anything. But it was on my mind, clearly, like it was there between us. So thank you so much for giving us that access to use gratitude as a way of cleaning up the relationships in our life. Because I think that I never saw that link before, because we're asking people to, you know, we talked about in a previous episode, Amy Cuddy talked about an expansive posture and how that can change the chemistry of your brain because of the way you stand. And she did a study on this. However, to do this, if you're so downtrodden, meaning you have so much stuff on your shoulders, that can challenge it. So thank you for introducing gratitude, because I never really saw that link before. And you're clearly sharing it. So Kathy, tell me about, do you have a process for when you have a tough call to make? So maybe there's somebody that you're working with on the team and there's something challenging going on that you have to address. Or maybe there's a big moment, you're going to get up on stage in front of 10,000 people, which you do now regularly. Do you have a process for preparing yourself and your state for those things?
Well, absolutely. So, you know, that was kind of a twofold question, but I think that, you know, if I have a problem, if I have something that I'm dealing with, my husband taught me this. I write down all the good things, you know, I write down, it's kind of like a Ben Franklin, all the positives and all the negatives. And I write those down, I analyze it, and then I have what the solution is. So that helps me to move forward and to solve the problem. And then it's coming in with not being angry. If you have a problem, you got to solve it. It's coming in with the soft heart and saying, look, we got an issue here, and my goal is to solve it and to move forward and to have an amazing relationship moving forward with you. And so this kind of go over some of the things, and that works for me because let me tell you, I get thrown a lot of different things, and I do the Ben Franklin, you know, analogy, and it really works for me. And then if you also ask, how do I go out and get myself in the state? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, you know, like we just had a huge event here. I threw my back out worse than I have ever thrown my back out. And I had to go out there with high energy, enthusiasm, passion. And so I got myself in the state, you know, and I do that with music. And I couldn't be doing jumping jacks like I normally do, but I still was listening to the music and got myself in the state. And really, all of a sudden, I didn't feel any of the back pain anymore. I just went out and I executed. But normally, when I'm feeling really awesome, I do a lot of calls at night, and I turn on high energy music, and it gets me in that state of energy, enthusiasm, and passion. Because the key to success, I truly believe, in achieving many of your goals is to keep your energy up. So how to keep your energy up? You need to, number one, take care of yourself first. That's why they tell you to put the mask on your face on the airplane first, take care of yourself, so then you can take care of others. So go do your workouts, do your meditation, or whatever you need to do to get yourself up. Keep your energy up. Listen to some YouTube things. There's some, oh my God, TED Talks. There's so many things available now to get your energy up. And then, it's having the enthusiasm. You've got to have the enthusiasm with the whole group, and you're going to exude that. You're going to exude that enthusiasm to your group, to your people who you're presenting to. And so you get them behind that energy, and then it's execution. It's executing your goals, moving forward, making sure you're executing. So, I know that was kind of a long-winded answer, but I think that, it's really important that you got to realize it comes from you. Everything stems from you. If you have a bad attitude, your team's going to feel it, whoever you're presenting to. If you aren't up and energized, and then you can do your gratitudes too, that will get you high energy. So
I got that came forward, this idea that you're in charge of your energy. And Kathy, what some of the listeners don't know is that, like you said, you just presented in front of a lot of people with your back out. And I've heard you with the same amount of energy when your granddaughter was born, like right after being at a wedding. I mean, you guys, Kathy is like this all the time. And when you're working with someone, and I'll just give you guys a little aside, is when we decided to hang our ladder on the wall that Kathy created, when we were in their home, and I don't know if you know this or not, but when I watched Jim and Kathy interact together, I was sold. That because I knew that I could trust them. I knew that they were going to be there tomorrow. I knew that they were passionately committed, not just today, but every day. And so energy is something that transcends, like I'm just speaking as a receiver of your energy, Kathy, and it's consistency, because some people have high energy sometimes. And people don't realize that the sometimes part, Tony Robbins talks about taking consistent massive action. And if you drop any of those words like, hey, I take massive action, or Nat and I were joking in our previous episode because she said sometimes she forgets the word consistent, and I sometimes forget the word massive. So I'm taking a lot of consistent action, but it's not massive. So we were joking about if you drop any of those words, it's felt. It trickles down to the people that you work with. And I believe people don't actually fully know what feels off about that, but it feels off. And so thank you for always being on. Mm-hmm. We are so grateful that we hung our ladder on your wall like a good wine. It just keeps getting better every year. It's quite something. Now I'm getting totally off track because I'm feeling really grateful. You got me in the gratitude space. But I am curious, this is a funny next question because I just went off track. How do you stay on message, Kathy, consistently, rather than being distracted by, shiny new opportunities? Because a lot of people, it's like, oh, let's go over here for a while. But for me, I feel like your message has stayed true over and over again. How do you do that?
I know where I'm going. I know what my why is. I know what gets me excited, but I stayed laser focused, totally laser focused on my goals and dreams. And that's it, like I said, to impact world health and free people from physical and financial pain. And I stayed laser focused. And if you've ever gone to a horse race and you watch the horses, they have the blinders on the side, and that's what you need to have. You need to have your blinders straight forward, going and executing your goal and achieving your goals. And once you do achieve your goals, you need to see what the next step is in your goal. I know a lot of times people achieve their goals, they get where they want, and then they wanted to diversify a little bit, and that's fine. It's good to diversify and do, maybe you want to make a contribution in charities, things like that, but you still need to remember what the main thing is and not lose track of that, because if you take your eye off the focus, off the target, things are going to fall by the wayside. We've seen it over and over again. So, I would say that it's so important to stay laser focused on your goal at all times. What is your vision? What do you want? And that will change. That will change over time. You may have started a certain way for your goals and your vision and why you're doing this, and it may change now. It may change, it may expand. So what excites you right now is really important to always know what excites you and to take the time and look inside and analyze. And then the gratitude again. I mean, it's like, look what's feeding you. Look what's inspiring you. Look at the impact you're having. Never take your eye off that target. And as you get bigger and you have accomplished more, you can get more help to help you with different projects. But still, you got to keep your eye on the main target, or you could lose your goals and you can lose your dreams, and things can fall by the wayside. And so I think it's important for you to stay focused, to keep moving forward, and realize all the great things you're doing in the world. I mean, what gets me up every day are the stories. I mean, being backstage and watching all the IsaBody Challenge winners and people crying on my shoulder, telling me how their life has changed and how their life wasn't like this before. I mean, you can't get that from any other place. And I think that if you have something special, you need to keep it special and really feed that and don't let it go.
You've layered it beautifully, because after our 3 steps, we realized that we needed a post step, and that post step was focus. So thank you for that visual with the horses and their those little eye patches on, in order that they move toward the end line. If not, I don't know if it's called the end line, the finish line. If not, they would get distracted by the other horses, and the next thing you know, they'd be eating hay on the side. So, I mean, isn't that sort of how it happens for some people?
That's the truth. People get distracted. You got to stay laser focused. And
I need to coach my daughter on that. My 3-year-old getting dressed, Kathy, is like a definition of, she has no project management, because sometimes she has her underwear in her hand and she's like, she sees her coloring book and she's like, oh, and then she looks up and says, why are my underwear in my hand? Like, it's hilarious. So she needs a bit of focus training, but that's her job. You have one coming that'll just be doing that exact thing. So now, mentors. Do you have mentors and people who influence you?
I do. I have several mentors. I have a few in the office. I have a few people that I talk to on a regular basis that help coach and mentor me. My husband is one of my best mentors. My son Eric is also a great mentor to me. So yeah, I use a lot of people in Isagenix are my mentors. We stick together. We're a tribe, and we inspire each other. And I'll tell you, some of our leaders inspire me so much. I watch them and I'm just blown away by, their accomplishments, what they're doing, and they keep me motivated. So yeah, I do. I have a couple other mentors. I just don't want to mention them right now, but they're really important. I think it's important to have those mentors and ask people if you could be mentored by them, if you can be the support structure. It really does make a difference, and it makes them feel important. It makes them feel like, really they've made an impact when they're helping other people too.
Well, it's good for people to know that doesn't matter where you end up, that at all times, that's what I wanted to know from you, is even where you are now, you're still being mentored and being influenced by others. And so this, I was kind of unsure if I was going to ask you this question. I think it's important. I just thought maybe it's a bit off track, but what's your secret to being a master connector?
My secret to being I'm really finding out, building a relationship with people, finding out what's missing from their life and building that relationship with them and giving them suggestions of how they can improve their life. So I think connecting with people it's so much fun to get to know people. And, it's that connection part is my favorite part. And, finding out what they want out of life instead of just, a lot of times people, what they do is they just kind of attack them with, what they're excited about. But instead, ask them about their jobs, their relationships, their children, and all those things. Are they going on vacations? Are they in? And then you can always introduce what, Isagenix or whatever you're promoting to those people at that time. But it's the connecting, the relationships that are so much fun that I love to do that. I truly do. And it's so easy. People are so open. So many people are looking for more.
So even being introverted, that's something that you are interested in. So it wasn't something that you built into. It's something that you've always been keen on, is understanding and speaking with others.
Well, no, what I would say is once you believe in something so much and you've seen results that you just want to share it with everyone.
Okay.
So, I did develop the skills, to do that. And, I took a lot of things and I used many things, just the regular things, talking about their family, their occupation, their recreation, and then giving them a message. And, it's just practice makes perfect. That's all I can tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, practice does make perfect.
Yeah, I wanted to put that in there because you are a master connector, and having been introvert in the past, I wanted to allow everybody to see how important connecting with others is. I find as people get older, they tend to believe that they can just interact with their family. They keep almost the blinders that you're talking about, but not focused, just almost trying to avoid looking around. So it's understanding when those blinders are appropriate, I think, and when they're not. So just to bring us home, Kathy, what's your vision for women, for mothers in this world? What do you hope for them?
Oh, for women and mothers, really to live their ideal life, to have something, of course they have their children, their families, which is so important, but having something that they can give, to other people, and having everything that they want, the life of their dreams, having everything for their family, having security, peace of mind. I mean, that is one of the most important things. And peace of mind and security come from great health, great health in their family, from financial security. So having women, because women are the nurturers of the family. I mean, they're taking care, and they don't get rewarded enough because, when your kids are little, they don't love on you like they do when they get older. Like Eric just has a lot of gratitude as they get older. But, so I think it's having that purpose, that passion that women can feel empowered and can develop into the amazing human beings that they are.
Awesome. Look, Kathy, I really can't thank you enough for taking the time to influence our community of dreamers. I know where you've just been, and constantly you're a yes person. So you have created a revolution in the realm of community and shared identity. So we are totally uplifted by your message. The example of who you are always speaks louder than any words from me. So I appreciate you so much, and thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, thank you for inviting me on the call, and I hope I gave you some words of wisdom. And just remember that we have so many special gifts to give to people, and so many people need to be lifted up. And you can be the light for so many people. And doesn't it feel wonderful when you do to others? I mean, I when I always see an older person, I always try to help them with their bags and open the door for them. And they always so, thank you. I can't believe you did that. But doing little things like that makes me feel really good too, that I helped someone else. So go out and, make an impact on somebody's life today, do something wonderful for someone, do random acts of kindness. I mean, it makes you feel so good. And if we could practice one thing a day and do it, one random act of kindness, it's a really beautiful thing.
Awesome. Well, I know I'm going to tell Nat tomorrow morning when I hand her shake, I'm going to say, I'm so grateful that you're my partner. I even married you twice. I was so grateful. And so, Kathy, Thank you so much. And yeah, it's just been a pleasure.
Thank you. Have an amazing evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the show. Don't forget to join the community at bit.ly/The Nat and Sarah Show to download your 3-step journal and participate in weekly lives found only in our private group.
Hold on. You've got to rate and review the show. And I know all the podcasts are always asking this, and in the past, I wasn't doing it. And the reason I wasn't doing it is because I actually didn't know how to do it. So, open your podcast player and click on our show from your library, not the Listen Now. That's where I was going wrong in the past. So now that you know how to do it,
When you go there, make sure you give us a 5-star review. 5 stars. And then click on write a review link to actually write a review so that you can tell other people that we're legit and even funny, maybe a bit serious.
so if you want to recommend this to someone, you have to put your fingers on the keys and send us a review.
Thanks!